He's been away getting his stuff together, but
we back
hopefully
now.
we get Mac in here later on to talk about it. But I want to get strictly straight. Listen, I know we have NFL topics, but the main topic of today is Ja Morant.
Yeah.
He is suspended for 25 games, and more came down with how much he's going to be losing. He'll be losing almost 300,000 per game, and he's losing other stuff as well. As far as not endorsements, he has not lost any endorsements, but he's going to be losing up to $7.6 million this year. So almost 300,000 per game. That's up to 7.6 million. And we all know that the first incident that he was live in Denver on the club, live stream, Instagram, holding a gun in his hand, and then 2 months, then he got suspended for 8 games, which I thought it was a slap on the wrist. And now he's actually did it again 2 months later, being on someone else's live stream, holding guns. So we finally waited until the NBA Finals was over to get a determination of it. But before I make my statement, because a lot of people's not going to like what I'm going to say, they're really not. I want to get your thoughts on it because I'm really about to crack down on the NBA with this one. I really am. Yes.
You don't think that's enough?
I feel like 25 games is not enough. And I'm going to tell you why, but I want to hear your side of the story.
I mean, first. Okay, because like I said, the first situation, everybody makes mistakes. Even though it's a really stupid, and I don't want to cuss, but even though it's a dumb mistake. Okay, you get the first one. The second time, though, it's like at this point, you just want to be, bro. Like, you just want to be, and it's like, I that's why I can kind of feel where you're coming from. Like, go ahead and it's like really, give him the spanking. But I think they're still trying to give him that time to learn and elevate. He's still young. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are not what I want to say. They're not involved in Ja's environment. And when I say that, I'm not saying that, because he hangs around these people, he should change his surroundings. He should most definitely change his surroundings. I think Ja was so much of a good kid. It's like now that he got some money, he's like, he wants to be the wannabe. He wants to have a gun. Like, you didn't have a gun your whole time in Spartanburg in college. No time. So why do you decide when you get in the NBA making millions of dollars, now you have to feel the need to have a gun and show it on live at that? Then you had the altercation where he blamed his homeboy, basically. I don't know if you've seen that, but article came out where basically he unfollowed the guy who posted the video as if he was mad at him. Like, I'm making a video. You got the gun at the end of the day. You're in the NBA. I'm not. So I don't know. I don't know. I think 25 games is good enough because I think it's going to be so much backlash. He's going to lose so many deals. Like, I think that's enough. His team is in the West. They're going to be fighting next year. I think 25 games is good enough, especially with all the money lost. Shoe deal, Nike deal gone.
The Nike deal was still there. The Nike deal
he still
got the Nike deal. He still have all his endorsements as of right now, but this is why I feel like 25 games was not enough. Number one, you did this in a 2-month span of you doing your first incident. Then you did your second incident where you knew that your first incident was, okay, I got suspended for 8 games. I had this gun in the club. And you, even though you unfollow old boy from the Instagram, you should never told him to go live in the first place. You should have been like, you should have told him to shut it down. Like, bro, what are you doing? I just got out of a situation.
Yeah.
So for him not to be mindful of that because he feel like he's bigger than the NBA because the NBA gave him a platform, I think it was a slap on the wrist for Ja Morant. And I understand that he didn't get any legal action. I understand he didn't get any, time served. And I know you could carry a gun in the city of Memphis, but he wasn't in Memphis the first time. He was in Denver. I don't know what the gun laws are in Denver. Memphis, he might have been in Memphis in the second video. But nobody's going to believe him now because he has to go through mental health protocols. He has to go through all this other stuff. to live up to this suspension because according to what I listened to on First Take, I've been watching First Take since the breaking news came out. Adrian Wojnarowski stated that if he doesn't follow and comply by these rules within the inside of the 25 games, it can be added on to more. And I feel like it should have been more. I think, to me, give him 40 games.
Or I say 40 or 50. Okay.
I say at least 40 games. 25 games, that's not even a half a season for real. It's kind of near the end of the first half of the season, but it's not actually near. I think you should have gave him the whole, or probably the first half of the season. But 25 games to me is a second strike. I get it. And I want to pull up his statement, but I'm just not. I could completely disagree with how the commission went about this. Understand you didn't want to take away from the NBA Finals. You did not want to talk about it. But 25 games is still another slap on the wrist to send a message. I understand he's losing $7.6 million. That could be up to $50 million after the 25 games are over. But that ain't shit compared to what Michael Vick had to go through in the NFL. Even though he did federal prison, he lost hundreds of millions of dollars. $50 million is like $6 to them.
But you know,
the kind of contract that Ja Morant has.
But you know, the NFL kind of don't play when it come to us, man. You're gonna get smacked in the NFL. The NFL not gonna play with you.
It's just mind-boggling to me because I know he's young. We all make mistakes around his age. I get it. But you're representing a brand.
Yeah.
When you first came into the NBA, you didn't have all this stuff going on. You wasn't doing all this stuff. When you was at Murray State, we didn't see none of this stuff. And you was a top prospect. And you know what top prospects, they get the limelight on them in college basketball. But now you get to the NBA and you think you're bigger than the league. And that's why I feel like the 25-game suspension is the slap on the wrist. Because he thinks that he's bigger than the league. And I'm going to just pull up, and another thing too, he lied about not doing it again. That's number one. You went on national television with Jalen Rose in the interview and said that you were sorry for what you did the first time. I'm sorry, but I just can't believe nothing that he said in this statement. And I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up real quick because I do have it here. So this is the statement that he said. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, let me just fix my banner real quick, my layer real quick, and I feel like if we give it too much leeway to these younger cats. We're getting too much leeway to these younger cats. So let me pull it up and read it off to y'all, because if y'all can't see it there, I'm going to read it here. This is the statement from Ja Morant. He said, I have time to reflect and realize how much hurt I've caused. I want to apologize to the NBA and the Memphis Grizzlies, my teammates in the city of Memphis. To Adam Silver, Zach Kleiman, and Robert Pera, who gave me the opportunity to be a professional athlete and have supported me. I'm sorry for the harm that I've done. To the kids who look up to me, I'm sorry for failing you as a role model. I promise I'm going to be better. To all my sponsors, I'm going to be a better representation of our brands. To all my fans, I'm going to make it up to you. I promise. Then he says, I'm spending the offseason and my suspension continuing to work on my own mental health and decision making. I am also going to be training so that I'm ready when I can get back on the court. I know my teammates are going to hold it down, and I am sorry that I won't be there with you in the beginning of the season. I hope you'll give me a chance to prove. He said, I hope you'll give me a chance to prove over the time that I'm a better man. What I've been showing you. That is the quote here from Ja Morant in what has been stated.
I mean, he apologized. What more you want from him?
I can't. I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have to see it to believe it, because you went on national television and told everybody that you was responsible. You made a mistake. You apologize. 2 months later, you do the same shit. Come on. Come on, bruh. If you knew from your first time, you know, you knew from your first time that you went and did an exclusive interview with Jalen Rose. You made Jalen Rose look stupid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Jalen Rose
saying.
actually.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not about he never convicted a crime. The fact that you went on national television and told everybody you apologized the first time, and you made Jalen Rose and ESPN look stupid for giving you this interview to give you your side of the story, and you still did the same shit 2 months later.
And I just feel like too, like people are like losing sight, and I hate to make this a black thing at the end of the day, but it's a thing that comes with, and I don't want to say our culture, but certain parts of it, because I'm pretty sure it's a lot of guys in the NBA that have CCWs and that carry their guns legally, or that have firearms on them all the time. They're now on Instagram showing them though. I can see it's a professionalism that comes with being in the NBA, and I just don't think he has picked that up yet. And that's why maybe they're trying to give him that time. Like he hasn't had like a. And I don't know. It's kind of hard to even give him an excuse after a second time. But I get what you're saying. I just feel like he's just the wannabe guy. Like he's not going to get it. I feel like even if they would suspend him 40 games, he's still just not going to get it. He's that dude who never did nothing his whole life, raised in a good neighborhood, all that, and now he got a lot of money and he can act like he can buy guns. He can, you know what I'm saying? He can do that type of stuff now, and it's like that's what he's choosing to do with his time. And I
25 games
don't know.
Yeah, but it's about the brand image at the end of the
Yeah.
day, and I just felt like I have to see it to believe it for me to believe that you're going to change. That's just me. That's just me personally, how I feel about the situation. I don't, and I know everybody in here is probably going to say 25 games is too much. I think it's less. I think it's still a slap on the wrist with the NBA, because if this was the NFL, he probably would miss the whole damn season.
Somebody
Because the
just hit it on
NFL
top
don't
of the.
play about stuff like that.
Somebody in the comments just hit it on the head. Even besides, that's not even good gun safety. Like he didn't even know how to hold a gun or even like that. Somebody in the comments just hit that on the head. Like this wasn't even good gun safety.
They said nephew is not a good look, but if he gets his shit, imagine what he could do. That's the only thing. It's a big if. Because now you have this image of you now being, oh, you the guy on Instagram live on social media holding guns twice.
Yeah,
So that image is still going to stay there
but to a
regardless.
certain extent, and I know it sounds crazy because we're talking about NBA players, but that's why I kind of want to touch on the culture thing. To a certain extent, that's the thing in our culture now. That's the guy. Not saying like that, like of course you have, but that's the guy who got the guns on Instagram, who got the money. That's the guy now. Like, and I guess he's not really caring about the NBA thing, and I'm happy you hit that. That's what he wants to be known for. That's what he wants to be known for. He wants to be that tough guy.
Yeah,
Him jumping, him
and I
jump.
just understand, like, your father's with you all the time. Didn't your father tell you about the first incident at first? Understand that we can be hard-headed kids at first, but even though that you had your father in your life, you had your mother in your life, why you want to live a persona that you never lived? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm not understanding about this whole social media stuff. Why are you trying to put on an image that you never lived, but just live the image that you have as Ja Morant, the franchise basketball player and probably the face of the NBA? But no, you want to follow into a footsteps of a bunch of thugs that live in Memphis or live in Denver and put on this persona and this fake gangster shit. And I'm sorry, I'm going 100% uncensored and uncut. I don't care. At the end of the day, you're a fake thug and you want to be around thugs because you want to feel like you want to fit in instead of being an outsider. That's the problem with Ja Morant right now.
Yes. Most definitely. You hit that on the head.
And because me and you come from this nature. In our community, we want to get out. We want to get out of situations like we don't want to be put into situations like that. And that's the problem. They think carrying guns and being gangster is being cool. That shit ain't cool.
I'm not gonna lie. If I had a Ja Morant contract, people from my city might not even see me. They probably wouldn't even see me, or let alone it's. I don't know, man. He just I can't even say you took all the words in my mouth. It's just the image, and then of course too. I'm happy you hit on that because, like I said, with our culture, with him staying in Memphis, you got the music that's going on in Memphis right now. You know, like
it's not even just music in Memphis. It's just rap music, period.
Well, yeah, anywhere, but I feel like specifically him being there because people are saying like, oh, he has a gun, he's in Memphis. Ja Morant not in the hood in Memphis. Like, you get what I'm saying? He's not in South Memphis or nothing like that. He's
but the
in
fact
the
that he was in Denver in the club with the first gun. He wasn't even in Memphis the first time.
like what you need your gun for in the club, bro? Like at the strip club at that. He's at the strip club. Like you, Ja Morant, you're not just going to any type club. You're not like you probably got security with you. They like I don't know, man.
And they said that he needs a role model. His father should be his role model.
But that's what I was going to say though. Like, imagine if he was able to come and a guy like Zach Randolph was involved. You get what I'm saying with the team, and he could be able to talk to him because Zach was like that too. Zach was one of them. He was one of them ones, but he still knew how to carry. Like he knew how to like. You just got to know how to carry it, and I just feel like Ja just don't have it, and I feel like that's still not him. Like you can look at him and tell like. It's not you, bro.
I see Ja Morant being the potential of being a role model, but he has to bounce back from this.
Yeah.
He has to bounce back from this. I have to see the improvement. I have to see that he does not do this again for me to believe, because like I said, he went on national television and told the world how he apologized for this first incident. And 2 months later, you go back around and do it again. Nobody's going to believe you. That's why I agree with Stephen A. Smith. Nobody's going to believe you right now. Yeah. They're just not. You're just not. Yeah, you put out a statement, but I feel like it wasn't genuine enough. I need to actions speak louder than words with me.
Yeah, I mean, he made that bet. He got to lay in it. That's how that go. How that go.
I just feel like the NBA in the 25 games is still a little light for me. It just don't sit right with me. From the NBA standpoint, because I feel like a lot of NBA players get away with a lot of shit in this league.
Yeah,
they just do. It's not even outside of this situation. I mean, we could go back even on, God bless his soul, the Kobe Bryant situation. He got off on that. Michael Jordan with the gambling. He got off with that. We have so many issues in the NBA that players get slapped on the wrist and don't really do no real time of suspension. And something has to change. This thing has to change here. And I feel like he did not send a message to the league, because the league feel like they could do these players. They feel like they can do whatever the hell they want, because they're in the NBA, they making millions of dollars. Oh, I'm this person and I could do what I want. And Adam Silver showed that they could do what they want.